decades, about 19 years now. And I lived with the guy for about 4.5 years, and I go out with him regularly. We went out last night again, and he kills it every time. 400 times we've been out in Las Vegas since we moved here a year and a quarter ago, and 400 times he's killed it, man. Sometimes there's a what's called a freeze out, where like, because we go to a lot of the same venues, and meaning what, like maybe like 8, 9, 10, I haven't counted venues. Let's say about 9 different venues that we frequent. We go there regularly, maybe not once a week, but like they know us there. After a year and a quarter, like we've been there many times. And so sometimes the girls that work there, because we're primarily getting hired guns. If you don't know what a hired gun is in the game, it's a girl that's been hired for her beauty, her hospitality, her flirtatiousness, her sexuality. It could be a dancer, it could be a stripper, it could be a waitress, it could be a hostess. I mean, it could literally be a secretary. A secretary is a hired gun. And so many different promo girls. I mean, we're in Las Vegas, so it's the city of hired guns. And that's what we get. That's really nice. It's the venue, the business itself gets the beautiful women for you, and then you just need to know how to interact as a customer, as a patron, and you'll get lots of beautiful women. And all of AZD's girls are hired guns. At some point, now they're not hired out interacting with men like that. He's got women's fitness, women's tattoo, a women's makeup line. Like his top girlfriends only interact with women, and they make good money. So that's, very high level of game, not only to get the beautiful woman, keep her for a long time while you have other beautiful women, and then build business with her so that she's got a fucking future, man. I mean, if you're not going to have kids with the chick, give her a future. You know what I'm saying? So this is fascinating. Ton of guys just join and then they bounce out. What else are you fucking doing with your Friday? Nothing. That's what you're doing with your Friday. Thursday night, wait, today's Friday, right? Yeah. Thursday night, last night, we went out and killed it again. 400 out of 400 times. AZD is killing it. And what does that mean is, bro, it's like watching a wizard, man. Like, his movement is minimal. His speech is minimal. But he's playful and jokes at the right times. He may dance at the right times. He's a boss. Like, he's heavily tattooed. He's 48 or 49 years old or some shit right now. Like, he's not a young man. He moves like a young man. He acts like a young man. Although he has, like, a very superior maturity to him, his personality, his game, the way he understands how to interact with, managers and other guys and girls, and his just very advanced skill set at interacting with people. Not just because he's 48, because we meet lots of 40s, 50s, 60s-year-olds that are hella awkward, man. Hella awkward. People don't know how to interact with each other. And I'm learning. I'm getting better and better. I've been studying from AZD for years. And it's not like a book knowledge that, okay, here's the book on body language, or here's the book on nonviolent communication or psychology of some sort. It's not that, because those books and the words are distorted. They're not real. There's somebody maybe sat and reflected on some real things, and there's probably little glimpses of truth and little nice gems and stuff in there. But if you read a book and there's some gems and there's some nonsense, how do you know what's a gem and what's a nonsense? Because you're trying to learn, so you just kind of take it all. Maybe you use what makes sense, but then there's another problem, because what makes sense to you may not be what's right. People are doing wrong actions. They're gaming incorrectly because it makes sense to them to be that way. Why would guys hit on girls? Like I did my live stream yesterday about direct versus indirect game. Why would you go up to a girl and directly tell her, like, you're the shit, I want to date you, you're fucking fine? Man, the way I just said that was pretty cool, but you still shouldn't do that. Not to a 9 or a 10. Not to an 8, 9, or 10. Not to a 6 who thinks she's a 9 or 10. She's just not going to respond to it because not in the right way. So, but the guy who does that thinks it makes sense. Like, he's not doing it because he thinks it doesn't make sense. So people, even if in their wrong ways of living and acting, they make sense to themselves to whatever degree they've evaluated it. Now, as you question them, if they participate in the question and answers, pretty soon you'll see, and they'll see, that they don't make sense. They don't know what they're talking about. Most people just never address their ideas. They don't even talk them out because, I mean, look, I'm blessed that I'm coattailing off of AZD. I get it. I'm a student. Damn, I look fucking good right now. I should take like a photo or something. I got game, but I'm going out with the number one player on earth. Like, to be in the vicinity of him while he's gaming, I get women. They flow over. and I deserve it. I've put in my time, put in my work, and I'll continue to the rest of my life. I got AZD tattooed right there. I got the coat of arms tattooed right there. I'm stamped. I'm C Nation for life. So I earn it, but at the same time, like, let me not be deluded. My game is not at the level of the results I get if I was just by myself. I have a tribe who more or less know game, and I have a teacher who's so good at game. It's incredible, man. And so we have the chance to even go on a road trip with him. I haven't lost the fact that this dude had 8, 9, 10 super fine girlfriends when I first came across him 10 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago. And that when I started learning from him, it lit up so many light bulbs in my mind about men and women. I mean, I'd had moderate success with women by normie standards. At some point, I was told that the average lay count, the number of people, girls that guys have sex with on average, the world over was like 7 or 4 or something like that. So I had passed that. So in that sense, I'm above average, I guess. But they were shit. There were a lot of alcohol involved, not really relationships. Just, I had no clue what I was doing. I was a young man. And I mean, I'm still a young man, I guess, but I was younger. And AZD's teachings lit off so many light bulbs. And it was just amazing. And then the closer I got, the more I studied, it never stopped being that, like, whoa, this guy, just the things he says. And if you ever get to hear him interact, and like, his power is invisible until a woman is present. You hear whatever you hear in these clips. Obviously he's confident and, he's clear, he speaks clearly, like, knows what he's saying, he says a lot of really clever things. But you wouldn't even know how powerful of a mindset he has until a beautiful woman, enters the picture. Then you see how he interacts with her, and it'll be out of your reality. He's not going to, do magic tricks. The alien's not going to appear. It's just going to be words, smiles, his gestures, the timing of it. It's just, and you'll see the reaction in the girl. That's the measurement. The measurement is the girl. Does she like you? Does she get with you? Does she commit to you? Does she cut off all of the guys? Is she beautiful? I mean, if a fat, ugly hoss is doing that for you versus a 10, it's different. Different level of game, man. If you can get a Chihuahua to submit versus you get like a Great Dane to submit, it's different. You get a lion to submit, it's different. It's levels of game, animal mastery. And that's so much of the dating game is animal mastery. Dang, I got veins and shit. Fuck yeah. I fucking feel pumped. That's nice. I did 2 exercises at the gym. That's great. Chris, how do you invite guys to your home if you live with lots of men? How do I invite guys or how do I invite girls? Sorry, girls. Just come over. 2 girlfriends, they don't have a problem with it because I've been living with other guys this whole time. And as they get to know me, they understand why. Like, I live with a bunch of guys. Then I think it was 2 nights ago, a new girl came over. And she actually follows the IG professional account. So she sees AZD clips all the time. So she gets probably some idea of like what I'm doing. She brought it up of being a player and this and that. And, I think it is intimidating for girls. I don't doubt it. But, that's my living situation. I like living with the guys. I pay very little rent for a dope house. This house is incredible. And I pay $500 for this room. It has its own bathroom. It's great. In San Jose, California, I was paying $1,700 per month for a room in a condo because it's California. And I had a shared bathroom. So, isn't that similar? Like Project Borovina. How do we know each other, man? You seem like you're privy on the game. Project Hollywood fell apart. There were 2 Project Hollywoods that I know of. There's the Project Hollywood from the game, Neil Strauss and Mystery, and obviously it fell apart because those guys have no ethics. Not back then. They have some ethics, but they didn't have the ethics that it took to have a base. Like, they weren't true ringmen. They backstabbed each other. They talk shit about each other. They get with each other's girls behind their back. And, there was just a lot of out ethics. It was a sloppy house. They were just sloppy people. So it fell apart. They were great pickup artists. That's great. They could pick up probably better than me. Maybe even better than AZD. Even though AZD I mean, it's like, how do you measure pickup? Like you get a girl's number, you have sex with her. What about a relationship? You don't want a relationship? Well, bro, you're just gonna pick up girls the rest of your life till you're 80. You're just gonna waste time picking up girls. Are you never ever gonna have a relationship? At some point, you're gonna have a relationship, right? Yeah, they were sloppy. And then Vince Kelvin had a Project Hollywood also that had a bunch of like interns. So he had like apprentices under him. That's kind of what Mysteries guys were, but they were more wingmen. Vince Kelvin's were more like students living with him. And that's kind of, it's AZD's is a hybrid of that. We started going to San Jose. We got a house there. And me and 3 other guys moved in with AZD, so it was 5 of us. And we moved around after a few houses because, it was leases until AZD's purchased a property with his family. And that's where we stayed at a condo for a year and a half. And then we decided to come to Vegas, sold the condo, came here. Property was a lot cheaper here. And at the time, I think 24 guys moved here. So we had 5 houses here in Vegas and 25 guys. And each one was a base. So it's like Project Vegas, but on a grand scale. And since then, some guys have dropped off. A couple new guys have joined on. And right now, I think it's solid at like 12 or 13 guys. And then there's another 5 or 6 guys that are still here. They're just like really struggling to, with their money and things like that. And it's like, it's an expensive lifestyle. The rent is cheap, but, I go to clubs every night. So I got a budget, On any given night, I don't have enough money. Overall, I spend a lot of money at clubs. But on any given night, I'm very, very budgeted. So the girl or girls who are hanging out with me that night, I got to charm them with a lot of charm because the money isn't going to make it happen for sure. That girl that night, that money is not that important to her. She can make a lot more doing other shit. So we strengthen our game by competing with the guys with money. The guys with money, they got lots of money. Thousands of dollars these girls will make. And they got to make a choice. Do I go and hang out with that really stupid, ugly, just bitch of a man who can pay me? Or do I spend a couple hours hanging out with Yogi Chris and the crew, feeling good, laughing, having a drink, making $20? So I'm measuring my game against that. That's what it is. And then I'm next to AZD, and AZD is just like overflowing with positive vibes. Yes. Brother, where are you? Are you in America? What city are you in? I got 5 minutes left. If you want to stream, just request to stream or write out for me where you're from and how old you are. And, have you studied any game from anybody, any pickup or game like that? So, guys, we're going on a road trip with AZD. And we do this about once a month or so. It just depends. It's kind of sporadic. We're going to Hollywood. I'm from Croatia, 26 years old. Right on. We got guys from Croatia. So I recommend joining the daily class, man. If you want to, you can be my guest. It starts in 14 minutes. 14 minutes, it starts his daily class. It's usually about a 2-hour class. You could leave anytime. It's on Zoom. So send me a message if you want that. Or comment so I look for your message. So we're going to Hollywood. AZD, one of his mentors is there, living mentors. Jesse Lee Peterson, he's a church pastor. And obviously, he's not a player or anything, so AZD's the expert on that. But we go there because the guy's an expert on ego, presence, God, and it's really righteous. Like, there's not that many high-level guys in the world, let alone guys that AZD would want to meet and learn from. So he learns from the guy, and we're going there. And, of course, we'll go to a club tomorrow night in Hollywood and maybe some food. And anybody that gets to be in the vehicle, man, that's like 4 or 5 hours each way. So that's like 9 or 10 hours of road trip with the number one player on earth. Wouldn't you like to see how the number one guy, the guy with like 8 girlfriends or whatever the fuck, how many girlfriends he has? I don't know. I don't even count anymore. How does he listen to music? How does he dance? How does he make phone calls? What are those you hear his intimate conversations. You're in the car with him. I watched one guy by the name of Hypnotica. Hypnotica's dope. Hypnotica is the only guy that AZD endorses outside of Mystery and the Venusian Art School. Basically, Mystery and Discovery. Love Drop fell off the map. Matador fell off the map. Discovery's doing something else. He does teach pickup, but it's like he's something else. Mystery, great. And then there's Hypnotica, which is his own universe. Hypnotica is a completely different kind of character. Beast in his own right, for sure. I chose many years ago to learn from AZD because of the multiple relationships and the ethics. That Hypnotica, he's a party animal, like in a different way, and just doesn't have the results that I want. when I see results with women, I don't think anyone compares to AZD. But Hypnotica is definitely a beast. But, you know, his systems, I've never met a student of his that was good with women either. They seem to have confidence, you know, because he teaches like some incredible mindset, alchemy and things like that. And clearly he gets women. I've seen him, he gets fine women. But I just haven't seen his students do it. So all of those reasons, guys, I think AZD just arrived. He's setting up the sound over there. If you want to come to AZD class, it starts in 11 minutes. You'd be my guest. It would be free for you to check it out. Hear how we talk about. Basically, the class consists of talking about our night out. And it's not just me. It's like 10 guys went out last night, so they'll chime in. We saw this. We did this. Hey, I have a question about this when this happens. So you learn game that way. And then by the end, AZD will give some like alchemy or exercises or stories or things that'll level you the fuck up for sure. And right on, you just followed. Hell yeah. All right, just. Okay, I don't know if that's real. And then, of course, there's advanced trainings. Those are more condensed, more expensive. And then there's in-person, where you come to Vegas, live here, go on the cycle with us. Every morning, every evening, you're out with us. You interact with AZD like 8 hours a day. It's a totally holistic transformation, inside and out. Your inner game, your outer game, your avatar, your look, your smell, everything will be corrected. And you'll go home a much upgraded player. The whole life will be different. Everybody around you will treat you differently. Baravina, right on. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I'll see you. Salute.